Have you ever woken up in the morning, wrapped your arm in a blood pressure cuff, and felt your heart sink? When the numbers came up higher than you hoped. That heavy feeling in the back of your neck, the dull morning headache. The nagging worry that no matter what you do, those numbers just won't budge. If that sounds familiar, you are absolutely not alone. Nearly 1.3 billion people worldwide live with high blood pressure. And what is truly alarming is that nearly half of them have no idea they have it at all. Today I am going to show you something that might completely change how you think about your morning meal. Not a new drug, not an expensive supplement, and not some exotic superfood you have never heard of. It is something you probably already have in your kitchen, or can pick up at any grocery store for next to nothing. When you add this one ingredient to a simple rolled omelette, you transform an ordinary breakfast into what science describes as a natural cardiovascular tonic, with multiple blood pressure lowering mechanisms working simultaneously. Before I reveal what it is, let me explain why most people struggle to lower their blood pressure through diet alone. The core problem is not simply eating too much salt, though that certainly does not help. The deeper issue is the progressive loss of arterial elasticity, combined with what researchers call endothelial dysfunction. Think of your arteries like a garden hose that has been left out in the cold for years. It becomes stiff and narrow, so the same pump must work much harder to push the same amount of water through. A major research analysis found that endothelial dysfunction was present in more than 78% of hypertensive patients. And this is the key insight: when you heal the endothelium, the pressure naturally drops. So what is the ingredient? It is garlic chives, known in Korea as buku and widely used across East Asian kitchens. A humble bunch of this dark green herb costs almost nothing, yet it contains a constellation of compounds that attack high blood pressure from at least 6 different biological angles simultaneously. The first and most powerful of these compounds is allicin. When you chop garlic chives, the cutting action ruptures the plant cells and triggers an enzyme called allinase to convert allicin into allicin. This is the same beneficial compound found in garlic, and it works by stimulating nitric oxide production in the cells lining your blood vessels. Nitric oxide is your body's own natural vasodilator. It causes the smooth muscle in your artery walls to relax, the vessels open wider, and pressure drops. A large meta-analysis pooling data from over 12 countries found that regular allicin intake reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 8.3 mm of mercury and diastolic pressure by an average of 5.5 mm of mercury. That is a clinically significant reduction by any standard. Here is the critical technique almost everyone gets wrong. After you chop your garlic chives, you must wait at least 5 to 10 minutes before applying heat. The allinase enzyme needs that resting time to complete the chemical conversion and generate maximum allicin. If you throw the chives straight into a hot pan, the heat destroys the enzyme before it can finish its work, and your allicin content drops by as much as 75%. This single step, waiting 10 minutes after chopping, can multiply the cardiovascular benefit of your omelette fourfold. Now here is where the rolled egg becomes something truly special. Egg whites contain bioactive peptides that have been shown to inhibit angiotensin converting enzyme, or ACE. ACE is the same enzyme targeted by an entire class of prescription blood pressure medications. By blocking ACE, these egg peptides prevent the formation of angiotensin II, the hormone that signals your blood vessels to constrict. The egg yolk adds lecithin and choline, compounds that help clear fatty deposits from artery walls. Research published in major nutritional medicine journals found that eggs, combined with allium vegetables like garlic chives, produced up to 2.3 times greater blood pressure reduction than either food consumed alone. Because the fat-soluble sulfur compounds in the chives are absorbed far more efficiently in the presence of egg lipids. The blood pressure benefits of this combination do not stop at allicin and egg peptides. Garlic chives also deliver quercetin, a flavonoid antioxidant that neutralizes the reactive oxygen species that damage endothelial cells. A systematic review of studies from 7 countries found that quercetin consumption reduced systolic pressure by an average of 3 mmHg and diastolic by 2.63 mm of mercury. Add to this the compound camphorol, which inhibits platelet aggregation and reduces clot formation, and potassium at approximately 416 mg per 100 grams of chives, which helps your kidneys flush sodium and relax artery walls. People who eat a potassium-rich diet consistently show systolic pressure readings 4 to 5 mm of mercury lower than those who do not. Then there is magnesium, which is deficient in the vast majority of adults who eat a processed food diet. Magnesium deficiency causes vascular smooth muscle to remain in a state of chronic tension. Restoring adequate magnesium through whole foods allows those muscles to relax. And a meta-analysis of 34 clinical trials confirmed an average reduction of 2 mm of mercury in systolic and 1.78 mm of mercury in diastolic pressure with magnesium supplementation. Here is the complete golden recipe for maximum effect. Use 2 to 3 fresh eggs, preferably from pasture-raised hens, and approximately 40 to 50 grams of fresh garlic chives, which is roughly 1 good handful. Dice a quarter of a yellow onion for additional quercetin, and shred about 30 grams of carrot for beta-carotene and extra potassium. Chop the chives into 1-inch segments, and let them rest on the cutting board for a full 10 minutes. This is not optional. While waiting, crack the eggs into a bowl and beat them thoroughly. Combine all the vegetables with the eggs and season with only a very small amount of salt, or replace salt entirely with a touch of low-sodium soy sauce. Cook over medium-low heat in a drizzle of perilla oil, which provides anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids and significantly enhances absorption of the fat-soluble sulfur compounds in the chives. Roll the omelet slowly and patiently. Rushing over high heat destroys quercetin at a rate roughly 35% faster than gentle cooking. Serve and eat while still warm, ideally within 10 minutes of plating. For timing, eating this omelet as part of your morning meal is strategically important. Blood pressure surges naturally between 4 and 8 in the morning due to cortisol release, a phenomenon cardiologists call the morning blood pressure surge. This is when strokes and heart attacks are statistically most likely to occur. Supplying vasodilating compounds early in the morning directly counteracts this surge. A controlled study found that participants who ate an allium-rich breakfast had morning blood pressure readings averaging 6.1 mm of mercury lower between 8 and 10 in the morning, compared to those who did not. Aim for this meal at least 4 to 5 mornings per week. Most clinical studies showing meaningful blood pressure reduction required 4 to 8 weeks of consistent intake before statistically significant changes appeared. Pair the omelet with a ripe banana. For an additional 422 mg of potassium, swap coffee for 2 to 3 cups of green tea throughout the day, and add a 10-minute gentle walk after breakfast to blunt the post-meal blood sugar spike that can indirectly drive blood pressure up. These 3 additions together with the omelet create a morning protocol that leading nutritional cardiologists would recognize as evidence-based and genuinely powerful. Important safety notes before you begin. If you take warfarin or any other blood thinner, consult your doctor before significantly increasing your garlic chive intake, because the vitamin K content can interact with anticoagulant therapy. If you have kidney disease, speak with your physician before increasing potassium-rich foods, as impaired kidneys may not clear excess potassium efficiently. If you experience any unusual symptoms, stop and seek medical advice. People with severe hypertension, defined as systolic pressure above 160 or diastolic above 100, should treat dietary changes as supportive measures only, and must continue working with their healthcare provider on appropriate medical treatment. Never discontinue prescribed medication based on dietary changes without medical guidance. That said, the evidence for food as medicine in cardiovascular health is genuinely compelling. Blood vessels retain the capacity to heal and regain elasticity at any age. When given the right nutritional environment, start your 7-day challenge tomorrow morning. By the end of week 1, you will have established the habit. By week 4, have your blood pressure checked. The numbers may well surprise both you and your doctor. If this video helped you, please subscribe and leave a comment sharing your experience. Next week we will reveal another powerful food combination that the world's most respected heart researchers have been quietly recommending for years. Your blood vessels are worth fighting for. And it starts with breakfast tomorrow morning.